Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how to connect ReadyConnect Concierge, formerly called Opcity, to Chime. So as soon as those leads come in from ReadyConnect, they automatically get added to your Chime for follow-up. Along with the API Nation sync, we're also going to be using another tool, Mailparser.io. So we're going to set up Mailparser.io to receive the email notification about the lead, and there's an integration there that'll put it right into a spreadsheet, which can sync it into the CRM. The first step to setting up this automation is going to be creating a spreadsheet where all your leads are going to land. So we're going to open up a page here. In the address bar, you can actually just use this helpful little shortcut. It's spreadsheets.new. And if you type that in there, it's just going to create a new Google Sheet for you automatically. So there we go. It just takes you to a brand new, fresh Google Sheet. And we're going to call this New Leads from Mailparser. And then we're just going to put in header rows for information we expect from a lead. So stuff like first name, last name, email, phone, message, address, city, state, zip, and anything else you think might be coming over with your leads that you're going to want synced in eventually to your CRM. But this looks good to me. This is all the information I typically want. So now that we have this spreadsheet, we're going to go over to Mailparser.io to set up that part. Next, we're going to go to Mailparser.io, and this is a separate tool from API Nation, but I find it's really useful. What it does is those emails you get, those lead notification emails with all the information about a lead that you get, you have them sent or you automatically forward them to an email address that Mailparser is going to give you. And Mailparser is going to be able to pull out the relevant information, the name, the message, the address, the phone, the email, all that stuff, and you can have it put into a spreadsheet. So that's what we're going to do here. And if you go to the pricing page on Mailparser, you'll see there is a free account. So that's what we would use to get started. If you're getting more than 30 leads a month, or you want to do this with other apps, then consider going up to the professional version. But just to get started, we're going to go with the free version. And once you set it up, it's going to look like this. Create your first inbox. So you're going to hit this button, go ahead and name the inbox, and you can name it something as normal as leads. You can name it after the service where the leads are coming from, whatever is going to be most helpful for you. Hit save, and there we go. It's created your email address for your inbox. And this email address, you need to do one of two things. One, you can either go to the lead service, the lead generation service, and give it this email address as a second place to send those lead notification emails. You can do that, or you can set up a rule in your inbox, your Gmail, your Outlook, whatever you're using, so that any emails you get from your lead service automatically get forwarded to this email address. Either way, those lead notification emails you're getting need to somehow get sent to this email address. That's very important. So once you go and do that, the next thing it's asking you to do is send over some examples of what kind of emails you're expecting from your lead generation service. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to copy this to clipboard. I'm going to go over to my email inbox and forward over a couple emails. And you're going to see it's waiting for those examples to arrive. And as soon as those examples arrive, it's going to say, good news, we got your emails. So now you're going to hit select and continue to set up the parsing rules. You'll then see this page with information about the email, and we're going to set up the template so it knows exactly what information to pull out of here. So you're going to come down here and first choose the category. We're going to choose real estate for the Opcity leads. Once you choose that, it'll probably recognize the email as a Realtor Opcity and automatically choose that template. That's it, you're ready to go. Just click start with this template. Once you do that, it's going to give you a congratulations message. You did it. Go ahead and hit OK. And then it's going to start putting in those emails after they're parsed here so that you can go in and see that leads information whenever you want. So great, we've now set up the email parsing. The emails are getting forwarded to Mailparser. Mailparser is pulling out the relevant information. Our next step is to connect Mailparser to Google Sheets. So to do that, I'm going to hit integrations, and then we're going to click new integrations. And Mailparser gives you a lot of good options here as far as integrating, including a webhook, a generic webhook, which we have a separate video if you want to connect Mailparser to your app using a generic webhook. Super helpful if your app doesn't have a connection to Google Sheets like some of these CRMs. But we're going to use Google Sheets because API Nation does connect to a lot of CRMs using Google Sheets. So I'm going to use this Google Sheet integration, and these are set up per inbox. So only this one inbox is going to get this integration. If you have multiple inboxes for different lead sources, maybe you have Realtor CA, maybe you have Opcity, maybe you have another one, all different inboxes, you're going to need to set up different integration for each of those inboxes. So let me just do this for this one. You can choose your Google account. I've connected Gabe at API Nation. If I haven't, I would hit add account and go ahead and sign in, but I've connected in the past, so it's just going to serve it up. All right, the app is now connected. It's refreshed the page with that connection, and it's asking me to choose the spreadsheet. So I'm going to hit this drop down, and we're looking for this spreadsheet we created at the beginning, new leads from Mailparser. So I'm going to click on the drop down, and this is alphabetical. So I'm just going to scroll down to N for new, LMN. There it is, new leads from Mailparser. So I'm going to click on that. And then it's going to ask for the worksheet, which is just going to be the first page because that's where we created it. Sheet 1, it chooses it automatically. Great. Last thing to do here to make this connection is the field mapping. These are the columns in Google Sheets we created earlier, and it's going to offer us some stuff from the email. So we're going to put first name there. We're going to see if there's a last name. It doesn't look like there is a last name with this lead, so we're going to skip that. We're going to put in email. We're going to put in phone. We're going to put in message and just go through and map this up. Super easy. There we go, state and zip. And again, if you're getting additional information with your leads that you want added in here, just be sure to create columns in your spreadsheet for that information. So if it's something like second email address, second phone number, buyer, seller, any of that information, just make a column for it, name it something you're going to understand. And then when you go through and do the mapping in Mailparser, it's going to offer it to you and you can just map it up with the stuff it's pulling out of the email. That's it. I'm going to hit save and test. It's going to send over that lead into my Google Sheet. Send test data. Great. There we go. Looks like it worked. So now my Mailparser inbox is taking every lead I send to it and putting it in a Google Sheet. That's great. Awesome to have that backed up. The next step is to connect that Google Sheet to Chime. So as soon as those leads get added to the Google Sheet, they also automatically get added to Chime. So to do that, we're going to go to apination.com. We're going to click on this button that says Start Syncing. That's going to take us to a page with a bunch of different apps and workflows you can set up for your real estate business. So we're going to scroll on down till we get to C for Chime. There it is. But take a look around. There's a ton of other apps. Ton of other automations you can turn on here. Let's click on Chime. It's going to show us what we can connect with Chime, and we are looking for Google Sheets. Here we go. So we scroll down. There it is, Google Sheets. Click on that. And it says us we can do 3 different automations with Google Sheets. You can send some stuff from Chime to Google Sheets, backing stuff up, collaborating on contacts with other parties. Or you can set this one up. This is what we want, sending information from a Google Sheet into Chime. That's what we want, so we're going to activate that sync. The first step to setting up a sync is to sign into your API Nation account. If you don't have an API Nation account, you can create one with this button. You could also sign in or create an account with your Google account. I'm going to go ahead and sign in with my Google account. All right, and the next step is to connect both the apps. So we're going to connect Google Sheets. We just hit this big button, choose the Google account where we want the Google Sheet to be stored, and that's it. We're connected that app. Similar thing for Chime, hit the big connect button. It's going to take you out to the Chime website where you just sign in, authorize the connection, and that makes the connection for Chime. All right, so now we're going to configure the sync. The first thing it's asking for is the spreadsheet URL. So let's go back to that page, and we're just going to grab this URL up here and hit Control C or Command C to copy it. We're going to go back to API Nation and paste it in there. There we go. Now let's scroll on down here. There's a couple other options. Do you want to overwrite the information in Chime as the lead's coming in? Let's say they already exist in Chime. Should we overwrite, or should we just add in the blank fields? I'm just going to choose don't overwrite, just add in any blank fields. It's pretty unusual that a lead coming in would match something in your Chime, but why not? Do I want to make the lead private? Up to you. You can check here and make it a private lead. You could also check here and send the new lead alert email from Chime. You could send new leads a welcome email. All options are open there. You could also assign it to an agent. So make your choices here, and then you're going to hit subscribe, and it's going to actually create the sync that's not yet active yet. You can see there's the big button to activate it. There's just one more thing we're going to do. We're going to scroll on down here. This is all the stuff we set up on the last page. There's this general filter here if you want to filter based on the information coming over from the spreadsheet. In general, I haven't seen most people do this with leads coming in because they want to get all the leads in and they want to get them in there as fast as possible. They don't want to accidentally filter somebody out. The bigger thing here is the mapping. This is really important. You can see you absolutely need a first name to create a contact in Chime. So make sure you map this up. First name to first name. I'm going to put last name on last name. I don't think I have a last name for this one. And then if there's anything else you want to do, you can scroll on down. For example, in source, you can put in the lead gen app, whatever app you connected here. If you want to tag it with a certain tag, you can do that. Maybe you want to mark it as a hot lead, a warm lead, whatever you have set up in your Chime so that you know exactly who these contacts are and how you want to handle them. This looks good. I'm going to activate this sync. So that's it. Google Sheets is now connected to Chime. As soon as Mailparser puts that information on the Google Sheet, it's going to go ahead and fire it into Chime. It's going to sync every 10 minutes, so it's going to be in your Chime within 10 minutes or less. That's it. That's how you connect ReadyConnect Concierge to Chime. All those leads going right into Chime through Mailparser and Google Sheets. No more importing, exporting, copying, pasting, none of that stuff. As far as you're concerned, you just open up Chime, do your work in there. You're going to see the leads there waiting for you immediately, and you can start creating those deals. If you have any questions or need any assistance setting up this sync, give us a phone call, shoot us an email. We're API Nation, and we're connecting the world's applications.